Hi there everybody, Ollie here, aka Secret Nimbus here with another episode of Magic Duels Origins. So for today's Friday Night Magic deck tech and gameplay, I'm going to be playing with a Sakdos deck. So this deck relies upon lots of sacrificing, lots of stealing of opponents' creatures using cards such as Acts of Treasons, making use of cards such as Goblin Arsonist and Perilous Mere, which deal damage when they die, and removal cards like Bone Splinters. So we're going to be hoping to draw into something like a, I don't know, Bloodflow Connoisseur or one of my Blazing Hellhounds with the next couple of turns, but we'll see how that goes. We do also have the Act of Treason, so what we can do on one turn is potentially Act of Treason an opponent's creature and then Bone Splinter that creature as well, which is always fairly interesting. But we'd like to see one of our slightly more powerful creatures which we can use to then sacrifice our opponent's creatures for a permanent or temporary buff. So we'll just have to wait and see what we draw into. So playing a rank 9, we're playing Jules Gagliardi. Okay, so we've got Knight of the Pilgrim's Road, which is a renowned creature. So I'm guessing we're playing a Selesnya renowned deck, would be my basic assumption here. Okay, so if we play... I've just drawn into lands here. I've only got 22 lands in this deck, which is what's really weird. But do I attack here? No, I'll just skip attack for now. I mean, I could Bone Splinters, but I'd rather save, like, use this as a 2-for-1, so sacrifice, say, for example, something like the Perilous Mere, and then use it to take out a creature plus a 2 health creature, is how you want to treat these creatures. So you want to try for 2-for-1 as much as possible, using Bone Splinters to its fullest potential with the damage as well. Although I'm probably just going to block with the Goblin Arsonist here, to be fair, because it will take it out. So he's got a pump, so he's wild sizing, damn. Never mind. So does that give him trample? I can never remember. No, yes it does. So we may as well just do the damage to his face instead. So I was kind of expecting the wild size, but at least I've drawn it out now rather than later. We've got the Dragon Fodder, which is good for later on when we've got more, like something, for example, like our Blazing Hellhound, but I could potentially Act of Treason here if I wanted to, but I don't think it's particularly useful. I might just play out the Dragon Fodder and save them as blockers. So swing with the 1/1. Yeah, if I had a creature that I could destroy, I would definitely Act of Treason and Bone Splinters, but basically it's not really worth it, so I'm just going to play out the Dragon Fodder for now. Generate some tokens as blockers, and then leave it here. So yeah, you can use, say for example, like Bone Splinters on one of his creatures, which is why I'm kind of saving it, so I can basically do a 2-for-1, sacrifice one creature and then destroy another one as well. So for example, he's just played the Rock Maulers, so this is going to be kind of hilarious. So what I can do is, next turn, I can Act of Treason the 4/4, I can then swing with it, and then use it to sacrifice it, and then destroy his other creature as well. So I'm probably just going to block here. Actually, no, let's just skip blocking for now, because that'll actually give me an extra bit of clout to swing with next turn. Okay, so we've got another Act of Treason, fantastic, that's what I like to see. So what we're going to do here is we're going to Act of Treason his Rock Maulers. We can then swing with everything, and then Bone Splinters using his Rock Maulers. So this is going to be pretty crazy. So if we swing with everything, because we can. So this is going to be like really trollish, but I don't care. So choose a creature to destroy, you choose a creature to sacrifice, his creature, which they both go to the graveyard. This is why Sakdos is such a trollish deck, because you can just do things like that. So I basically just took out 2 of his creatures in one turn. So got 2 for 2, but I took out a very strong board position on his side with basically just like 1 card, so Bone Splinters. So he's played a Knight of the White Orchard and a Nimbus Wings. Okay, so I'm definitely going to be Act of Treasoning that next turn. Is that going to work? So we can't swing with it this turn. But like one of my sacrifice cards, ooh, Fleshbag Marauder. So I could actually Act of Treason and Fleshbag, and then actually sacrifice his creature while keeping my Fleshbag Marauder. Which is kind of hilarious, so I'm actually going to do that. So if we Act of Treason you, so we can still play the Fleshbag Marauder, which is good. So he doesn't actually have a creature right now. So if we attack with all, quite a bit of damage here as well. So I'm essentially sacrificing his creature while keeping my own flesh bag, which is just fantastic. So I have to sacrifice a creature. Now which one am I going to sacrifice? Oh, his creature. Goodbye. Haha, look at that. Beautiful. Oh my god, this deck is fun. It's completely trollish, but so much fun. And he's played a Patron of the Valiant. So that, I think, puts a 1/1 counter on all renowned creatures. And we've got Dragon Fodder as well, so this is pretty much a win. So I'm just going to swing with everything here, keep up the aggression. I'm assuming he's probably just going to block the Flesh Bag, so we push through 3 damage this turn. And we just play out the Dragon Fodder and then swing. I don't think he's got any kind of sweep or anything in the Renowned deck, so I think we're good. So we just play out this, just to guarantee ourselves the victory next turn. He's only on 1 health. This getting destroyed is pretty much guaranteed. Just having this on the battlefield is pretty much guaranteed as a victory anyway, because you can't actually block this without losing at the moment. So unless he's got something with lifelink, he's pretty much doomed. So I don't think this is going to flip. Which he did not. Nope, he has not yet, but I think he's only got 5 mana down, so Nissa won't flip this turn. But it's fine, we've got enough creatures on the battlefield to push through that 1 damage that we need anyway. This was like the perfect hand. It was just absolutely fantastic. All the pieces fell into place, and he's pretty much doomed himself there by playing out the wild size. So yeah, awesome. It's a nice way to start off the Friday Night Magic, is with a victory, so... See, I didn't have the Dragon Fodders in my original deck, but I've just found they're useful just as fodder. Like, essentially, that's all I'm using them for, is as sacrifice tokens. So we just swing with everything here. a mana just to round it off. Fantastic. But we just swing with everything. He's got no way of stopping this 1 damage going through, so fantastic. Let's wait for this to block. Awesome, there we go. So let's move on to game number 2. Okay guys, here we are for game number 2. So we're playing a rank 25. We'll see how this goes. Last match was quite easy. Draw a new hand there. I think we can keep that. We need the black mana for the Bloodflow Connoisseur, but hopefully we'll draw into that fairly quickly. We do also have the Traitorous Instinct, which is nice. So we're playing Rautonda 1978 for our second game of the day. We do have the 2 Dragon Fodders and the Perilous Mere, which is nice. Yeah, we really need 2 more mana at some point. Would be nice for the Blazing Hellhound. It's amazing how many times I get flooded playing this deck, and this is going to be one of those games where I don't. But at least we've got the Perilous Mere and Dragon Fodder to keep us in the game. It's tempting to put some of the Foundry of the Consoles or something in this deck as well, but maybe even a Rogue's Passage. I might have a quick edit around in between this and the next one, maybe throw in a couple of the special ones just for a little bit of bonus. But yeah, let's drop down the Perilous Mere this turn. So we'll be hoping to draw into a black mana fairly soon, just so we can play the Bloodflow Connoisseur. Get it going as a sacrifice engine, which is always nice. So I'm wondering if this is Thopters. If we see a blue mana come down, this is Thopters. If we see more red mana come down, it's just where he's mana screwed. I'm hoping he's mana screwed. Excellent. So we might be onto a winner here, but I still do need that black mana. I've got 3 red mana, but I just need the 1 black mana to essentially cement my position here. We'll get a Dragon Fodder down. I'll keep a second one just to be on the safe side. There we go. So it's amazing I haven't actually drawn into a black mana yet. I'm guessing Twin Bolt maybe? If he's got 1, yeah, Twin Bolt. Was expecting that. So he went for my Perilous Mere. So he probably thinks I'm playing like Red Deck Win right now, but I'm not. I just haven't drawn into any of my sacrificial mana yet, so Bloodflow Connoisseur basically, or even Blazing Hellhound. Now the reason I've got the Dragon Fodders is mostly for the Blazing Hellhound, to be fair, and he's still mana screwed, which is good for me. I'm still missing that black mana, so which is kind of disappointing, but hey ho. So both mana screwed. I'm mana screwed for just 1 colour. He's mana screwed just in general, so he can't play out anything until we've got to try this. We've got to try and play out more damage to try and end this slightly quicker. We should draw into a black mana fairly soon. Once we do, we're like well on the way to victory with the 2 Traitorous Instincts, Bloodflow Connoisseur, Fleshbag Marauder, and a Blazing Hellhound. Okay, so he's finally found the third mana. Wondering what he's going to play now. Absolutely nothing. Okay, interesting. Black mana? Oh, there we go. Rakdos Guildgate will do. So at least we can start playing our black creatures out next turn, which is good for us. And we can also start playing out Traitorous Instinct as well. It was just that fourth mana that we needed, just that mana fixing, just to get the black mana in place, which is why obviously all the dual lands are in this deck, because if we just draw into another red mana or a fast red mana, it wouldn't be much good. But we've obviously got the... we have to wait another turn. That's fine, because we're not in a hurry. He's got nothing right now. He's played Ravaging Blaze, so he deals X damage to target creature or player. Nope, just target creature. So he's just getting rid of one of my tokens. That's really random. At least I've got Bloodflow Connoisseur to kind of like deal with things like that in future. Huh, excellent, we've got two of them. So we'll just swing with these two and then play Bloodflow Connoisseur at the end of my turn. So do 2 more damage. And then we finally play out one of my sacrifice creatures. Once he's finally finished watching damage effects. Like, seriously, who leaves on damage effects? It's the most pointless waste of time ever. Once somebody told me that I could turn it off, I was like, why have I ever been watching these? It's just a massive waste of time. Of everybody's time. So it looks like he's playing out Red Burn. So he's about to deal 4 damage to me, so I'm just going to let that go through. That's fine by me. Don't really care too much. You waste your burn spells on my one of my Bloodflow Connoisseurs. I'm quite happy with that, personally. I'll take that. Just don't keep burning through it all. It's fine, it's fine. So we'll just keep swinging at his face while he whittles down my creatures, which I've still got plenty of. So I think we might play out a Blazing Hellhound this turn, just because it's considerably bigger than a Bloodflow Connoisseur. It's obviously, its sacrifice engine works in a completely different way. This gets a permanent buff every time we sacrifice a creature, whereas this one allows me to just ping off 1 point of health or one damage somewhere, basically. So he's played Pia and Kieran Nalaar. Interesting. So I wonder what we're going to do this turn. I would like a slightly cheaper way of like pinching Pia and Kieran Nalaar, but do have another Blazing Hellhound. So what I could do is pick off both of his Thopters, but can I do that? Or do I just Traitorous Instinct Pia and Kieran Nalaar? Ooh, tough choices here. Tough choices. Because I could pick off his Thopters with the Blazing Hellhound. Then play out Fleshbag, maybe? No, that won't work. I haven't got enough mana for that. Can't really play that, because that way I can't actually sacrifice Pia and Kieran. So do I just pick off both of the Thopters and then swing with the Blazing Hellhound? I think that might be the best play. I don't like this. I don't like... Nothing is really optimal here, but I'm going to play the Bloodflow Connoisseur out, mostly because that's going to allow me to then pick off the 2/2 afterwards. He can start wailing on... so I can pick off one of these, potentially, with the Blazing Hellhound, depending on what he does here. Could do with 1 more mana, really, just so I can use both Blazing Hellhound and Traitorous Instinct on the same turn. Could also do some of those dragon tokens back, but hey ho. So he played a Goblin Glory Chaser, not too fussed by that. So is this looking more and more like red deck wins, but it's just like, did he just like not get anything decent early on? Okay, so he's played Inferno Fist. What's he playing Inferno Fist on? So that is going to get +2/0. So what I'm going to do is just sacrifice to kill you. So he's already casted that, so I'm just going to pick off his creature. What else can you do? Titan Strength. Okay, interesting. So that's going to get a buff this turn. Goes up to a 6/1, but he did have to waste 2 cards to do so. I feel justified by that, so it's not too bad. Can swing in with both of them. If he wants to, of course. Which he will. And he's swinging him with both, okay. Interesting. Do I block with that one and then sacrifice a goblin creature to take it out, or do I just block with this one? He's probably got another Titan strength, to be fair, so... What'll that buff that up to? We'll buff it up to a 3/3. I'm just going to confirm the block. I'll throw it to the wilds. Okay, interesting. So he threw away his Piran Kieran Nalar. Why would you do that? Again? Crazy man. So I go down to 14, but for some reason he's now lost his Piran Kieran Nalar. So I'm just going to sacrifice you. There we go. Get the buff. Wasted his Inferno Fist. Crazy man. Okay. Oh, excellent. We've got another Dragon Fodder. That's what I like to see. So, do I Traitorous Instinct something? Say, for example, I could Traitorous Instinct his Goblin Glory Chaser, or even his Thopter, and then swing at his face, and then sacrifice it with the Bloodflow Connoisseur. I think that could work out quite well. Grab his Thopter, and then sacrifice it. Give my Bloodflow Connoisseur another bit of a... give it another boost. We're doing quite well here. We've got plenty of tools in our hand to be getting along with, so... We do have another Traitorous Instinct to get that 1/1 back, so then we're just going to sacrifice you. Make that 3/3. Yeah, we're in a good place here. We've got plenty of tools in our arsenal to take on my opponent. So he's played a Rogue's Passage, that's fine, don't really care too much. Call of the Full Moon, interesting. So what are you going to put that on? The 1/1? So it gets Trample, that's fine by me. You can push through that. I'm just going to Traitorous Instinct it next turn anyway. So sorry about that. I don't want to block it. I'll take the 4 damage. Let it go Renowned. Because the funny thing is, if this goes Renowned, basically what's going to happen is that it's going to make it unblockable. Oh, he's just giving me the win. That's fantastic. Unless he plays another creature, I've just won. So watch this. So we go Traitorous Instinct on the 5/4. And then we just swing with the 7/4. It's got Trample and Menace, so you can't actually block it with just the 1 Thopter. And it's been replaced by the AI. Fantastic. Look at that. Let's go take a look at the deck, guys. Okay guys, here's the Sakdos deck. So to start off with, in terms of the 1-drops, we've got the Goblin Arsonist. So this is a creature which we want to sacrifice with something like Bloodflow Connoisseur, like Blazing Hellhound, and we can then deal the damage 1 point elsewhere and then get a bonus from it as well. So it's just nice little fodder which we can then play around with its kind of damage dealing ability. We've got the Bone Splinters, so we can sacrifice something like Goblin Arsonist, like Perilous Mere, potentially get a 2-for-1 by dealing 1 or potentially 2 points of damage while also getting to destroy another creature at the same time. Again, Perilous Mere, it's like a 2-mana version of the Goblin Arsonist, so we play it and then we can dish out 2 damage to whoever we so choose. I threw in the Shadows of the Past. I don't know how important this is, but basically I've got 1 copy in there, so if I potentially put it down, whenever a creature dies I get to scry 1 and then deal some damage elsewhere as well. I just thought it was a nice little kind of potential alternative win condition if it's in there. I don't know if I need to put more of these in or not, but I don't know. I've got 1 in there for now just as a token version. I've got 4 Dragon Fodders. I like these in here. As you saw in the second game, they're good as fodder. Like, it's in the name. I want the little creatures which I can use to as potential sacrifices for things like Bone Splinters, for Bloodflow Connoisseur, for Blazing Hellhound, stuff like that. So I just want I just wanted like an extra amount of creatures which I could use to like ping around, stuff like that. Also Fleshbag Marauder, if I play that I can just ping off a Dragon Fodder token rather than having to sack off the 3/1 body, which is slightly more important. I've got Liliana. Why wouldn't you have Liliana in this deck? Every time another non-creature token dies, I get to flip her, and then we get the Planeswalker Lily. So basically I can force everybody to discard a card, I can return target non-legendary creature from converted mana cost X from my graveyard to the battlefield, and then if I get the ultimate down, whenever a creature dies, return it to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of your next end step. So say for example, I can get her ultimate down. Every time I destroy one of my opponent's creatures using one of my sack abilities, I basically get it back for free. So Liliana deserves a place in this deck. Plus, whenever you flip her as well, you get a 2/2 black zombie creature token, which is pretty sweet as well. Fleshbag Marauder, so basically drop this down. So say for example, my opponent's just dropped a Guy's Revenge down, swung at my face, I've got no creatures on the board, I drop Fleshbag, say for example he's got no other creatures on the board, I drop Fleshbag, he sacrifices it, it's gone. It's just a nice card. And then if you can synergize it up with something like a token, you even get a nice 3/1 body down on the field as well, so it's there as a double whammy. Bloodflow Connoisseur, probably one of the MVPs of this deck. Get this down on turn 3 and then start Active Treasoning, Enthralling Victor and Traitorous Instinct to start nicking your opponent's creatures, swinging at their face using that creature, and then sacrificing it free. So you can just sacrifice a creature on your side of the battlefield, and then you also get a permanent +1/+1 buff on it as well. This is a great card. Act of Treason. Now, the reason I've opened the last 2 packs off camera is that I was actually missing 2 of these, and these are very important for this deck. So I only had 2 out of the 4. This is the cheapest way of stealing creatures from your opponent, so it's a 3-mana steal spell for a turn. So you untap that creature and it gains haste. You then sacrifice it using Bloodflow Connoisseur, you sacrifice it using Blazing Hellhound, you also sacrifice it using Fleshbag Marauder, as you saw in game number 1, so again that's another synergy for this one. You can steal an opponent's creature and sacrifice it using Fleshbag Marauder if you've got the ability to do so. Enthralling Victor's nice. It can steal very small opponents, so better against aggro decks, but you can gain control of a target creature with power 2 or less, so good against aggro decks in particular. And then you also get a body on the field, and then you also get to sacrifice it with Bloodflow Connoisseur. Very nice. Blazing Hellhound, nice card as well. Bit more expensive, so it's a nice body though, at 4/3, so it's a significantly good kind of like presence on the board on its own, but its ability to sacrifice creatures and deal 1 damage where you choose, that is where this card really comes into its prime, so it's a nice card. Finally, we've got the Traitorous Instinct. It's expensive, but very useful. I've only got 3 of them because I basically sacrificed 1 of these for the Shadow to the Past. But yeah, it's a nice card, nice endgame. While it's very similar to Active Treason, you also get the bonus of pumping up your creature as well. In terms of the mana distribution, I've got 7 black, 9 red, 2 Dragon Skull Summits, and the 4 Rakdos Guild Gates. Now, thinking about this over, what I might also do is throw in some Foundry of the Consoles and maybe a Rogue's Passage. So I might take out, I don't know, a red mana throw or a black mana and throw in a Rogue's Passage, just so that, for example, I could Traitorous Instinct or something, or just push through that last little bit of damage with like a big Bloodflow Connoisseur, something like that. So that might be worth putting in. But let me know, guys, what you think about putting in something like Foundry of the Consoles or Rogue's Passage as fodder. I don't think Foundry of the Consoles is particularly useful, as that does require 5 mana, and usually this deck only really needs 4 or 5 mana to really put all its tools in place, so it's kind of would be a bit of a luxury rather than a necessity. But I think Rogue's Passage is probably slightly more important, so I might just take out a red and just whack in 1 Rogue's Passage just as a token one, just in case. Okay, so that is the deck, that is some games. As always, guys, don't forget to comment and like if you've enjoyed the episode, and apart from that, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.